Okay, so we have paper 2H, January 2020, and we have Miss Hayden Higgins solutions. So then, here we go, ready to start. As always, we're given the formula sheet, and we're going to start with question 1. Simplify x to the power of 9 divided by x to the power of 2. Now, as we know, when we divide powers, we actually take them away. So 9 take away 2 is x to the power of 7. Question part B. Write 7 to the power of 8 times 7 to the power of 4 over 7 to the power of 3 is a single power of 7. On the numerator, we're going to add the powers, so we're going to get 7 to the power of 12 over 7 to the power of 3, and then again we divide, so we're going to get 7 to the power of 9. Okay, question 2, we're going to change 32.4 metres cubed into centimetres meters cubed. Now, if we were to change just 32.4 metres and we want to change that to centimetres, we times by 100. But because it's meters cubed, we need to multiply by 100 cubed, which is going to give us 32,400,000. Okay, moving on. Question 3 is a show that question with the fractions, so we need to make sure that we are showing each stage of our working. So to begin with, I've got 4 2/3 plus 3 4/5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change these fractions to top heavy. So with 4 whole ones, okay, is going to be 12/3. So 4 whole ones is 12/3 plus 2/3 is going to give me 14 over 3. Now, the other way we could do that is we could do 4 times 3, which is 12, and then add 2, which is 14, and that's how we get that answer there. For the next one, we have 3 whole ones, which is 15 over 5, okay, plus 4 over 5 is going to give us 9/5. Now again, we could use, 19. Again, we could use the trick where we do 3 times 5 is 15, plus 4 is 19. Now that we have our two fractions, we can do 14 over 3 plus 19 over 5. Okay, but what we notice here is that they're not over the same denominator. So we need to make them over the same denominator. So I'm going to make them on a denominator of the lowest common multiple, which is 15. So to make my denominator out of 15, I need to multiply my denominator by 5, my numerator by 5. So if I multiply them both by 5, I get 70 over root 15. Now it's the same for 19 over 5. If I need to multiply my denominator by 3 to get over 15, so I need to do 19 multiplied by 3, which is 57. So now I'm going to get 70 over 15 plus 57 over 15. Again, my denominators are the same, so I can add my numerators to get 127 over 15. I'm then going to divide 127 by 15, which gives me 8. And 8 times 15 is 120, so that means I have remainder 7 over 15. And that's how we can show that the fraction equals 8 7/15. Okay, question number 4. The diagram shows a triangle. Work out the value of x. Now, first thing we know is we know that angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if we have 30 plus 4x plus 10 plus x plus 20, that's going to give me 180 degrees. So I'm going to get 30 plus 10 plus 20 plus 4x plus x equals 180 degrees. 30 plus 10 is 40, plus 20 is 60, plus 4x plus x is 5x is 180. I'm going to take away 60 from both sides. So I'm going to have 5x equals 120. If I divide both sides by 5, I get x equals 20. Now you always have to remember to write the answer in the answer box. Now I've just realised, sorry, that's divided by 6. So it's actually 24. Okay, 120 divided by 5 is 24. Okay, please always double check your work. Okay, you need to use a ruler and a compass to construct the bisector lines of the angle BAC. Now what you should be doing is getting your compass and putting your point here. And then you want to go over halfway of the line. So you're going to mark it here. That same mark needs to come all the way down to here. Then what's going to happen is you're going to use that same length and you're now going to put the point here. You're going to mark it about here. You're going to put the point here now and then mark it. And then you should have a nice straight line through there. Now this is how you bisect an angle, but please make sure you leave all of the construction lines. Okay, question 6. So, a bag contains only red beads, blue beads, green beads and yellow beads. The table gives the probabilities that when a bead is taken at random from the bag, the bead will be blue or the bead will be yellow. The probability that the bead will be green is twice the probability that the bead will be red. So if red is x, green is twice that probability, so that's going to be 2x. Sophia takes a random bead from the bag. She writes down the colour of the bead and puts the bead back into the bag. She does this 180 times. Work out an estimate for the number of times she takes a red bead from the bag. Now we know that these probabilities add up to 1. So x plus 0.24 plus 2x plus 0.31 equals 1. So x plus 2x is 3x, 0.24 plus 0.31 is 0.55, which equals 1. If I take away 0.55 from both sides, I get 3x equals 0.45. Divide both sides by 3, I get x equals 0.15. So now that I know that my red bead is 0.15, 2 times 0.15 is 0.30, I can double check I'm right by adding them all up and they will give me 1. Now that I know what x is, it says work out the estimate for the number of times she takes a red bead. So the probability she takes a red bead is 0.15. If she does this 180 times, we're going to multiply this by 180, which is going to give us 27 times. Okay. Question 7. Solve the inequality 2x plus 7 is greater than 4. So I'm going to take away 7 from both sides. So I'm going to get 2x is greater than minus 3. Divide both sides by 2. I'm going to get x is greater than minus 1.5. We do these questions just like we would do if there was an equal sign, but we have a greater than or less than sign. The next question says, solve x squared minus 3x minus 40 equals 0. Show clear algebraic working. So we can do this a few different ways. You can do this using your calculator, but you would then have to show the quadratic formula. We can do this by factorising if this is possible, or we could complete the square. So then, I'm going to factorise first because I'm going to see. So x squared minus 3x minus 40. Okay then, so two numbers that multiply to give me minus 40, but add to give me minus 3.
What needs to be done?
So the first thing that I look at is minus 40. I'm thinking 8 and 5. And 8 and 5, I would be able to get minus 3. If I had minus 8 and plus 5, positive 5, minus 8 and 5, that does work. So get minus 8 and plus 5. For this to equal 0, we know that any number times any number has to give us another number. So in this case, if we get 0 times this bracket, we're going to get 0. Or if we get this bracket times 0, we're going to get 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make each bracket equal to 0. So this means x minus 8 has to equal 0, so x equals 8. X plus 5 equals 0, so x equals minus 5. So we have two answers for x. We have 8 or minus 5. Okay then, so question number 8.
Okay, must be 1 second.
The table shows the cost in euros of Bridget's car insurance in each of the years 2016, 2017 and 2018. Bridget says, the percentage increase in the cost of my car from 2017 to 2018 is more than the percentage increase in the cost of my car insurance from 2016 to 2017. Is Bridget correct? So what we need to do is we need to find the percentage difference between 2016 and 17 to 2017 and 18.
Okay, so Evan.
So if we work on 2017 to 2018 first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the difference. So 592 minus 45. And then I'm going to divide it by the original, which was 545. I can then multiply this by 100. Okay, and this is going to give me 8.6%. So then for the years 2016 to 2017, I'm going to find the difference between them, divide them by the original, which was 2016, and multiply that by 100, and I'm going to get 9%. So she says that the percentage increase of 2017 to 2018 is more than from 2016 to 17, but this is not correct. As we can see, 2016 to 2017 was actually 9%, whereas 2017 to 2018 was 8.6%. So, Henry wants to insure his car. He gets a discount of 15% off the normal price. Henry pays €952 for his car insurance after the discount. So if he got a discount of 85%, that means, 15%, that means 85% is what he paid. So that means 952 is 85%. And what he wants to know is work out the discount that Henry gets. So we want to work out what 15% is, because that's what the discount is. That's what we're trying to achieve. Now, what we could do is if we divide both sides by 85, we get our 1%. And then if we multiply it by 15, we're going to get 15%. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 952 divided by 85 multiplied by 15. So his discount was 168. So question number 9. Now, the density of gold is 19.3 grams centimetres cubed. Gold bar has a volume of 103 centimetres cubed. Work out the mass of the gold bar. So we know density equals mass over volume. So to rearrange this to get mass, I'm going to multiply both sides by V. So I'm going to get density times volume equals mass. Now my density is 19.3. My volume is 150. So 19.3 times 150 is 2,895. Now always double check that everything is in the correct units. We didn't have to change any units here because we had centimetres cubed. We've got grams, and here we want grams, okay? Right, question number 10. Change a speed of 15 metres per second to a speed of kilometres per hour. So 50 metres per second. So metres per second. So if we're in metres and we want to convert to kilometres per hour, if we take this step by step, metres to kilometres, okay? If you had 1 metre and you want to know what that is as a kilometre, we're going to divide by 1,000. And if we have seconds and we want this in hours, how are we going to convert seconds into hours? Okay, we're multiplying by 1,000. How are we going to convert seconds into hours? We need to divide by 60 to get to minutes, and then divide by 60 to get to hours. So we should be doing 50 times 1,000 divided by 60 divided by 60. And I get 13.8. No, wait there. Done this completely wrong. Hold fire. Okay. So we want kilometres per hour. Right, so let's think about this. Metres to kilometres. So 500 metres is 0.5 kilometres, so I am going to divide by 1,000. And then seconds to hours times 60 times 60. Right then, so 50 divided by 1,000 times 60 times 60 is 180 kilometres per hour. Okay, question number 11. The diagram shows a shaded shape ABCD made from a semicircle ABC and a right-angled triangle ACD. AC is the diameter of the semicircle ABC. Work out the perimeter of the shaded region. Okay, so we need to work out the perimeter of the shaded region. The first thing I'm going to do is I need to work out this bit here. Because my perimeter is going to be 17, which I have, 15, which I have, and then this bit, which I don't have. Okay, so which is half a semicircle. So to find that, I need to have the diameter. Now I can see here I've got a nice right-angled triangle. Wrong way round. So 17, 15, and I want to find this one here. I'm going to use Pythagoras. So 17 squared equals 15 squared plus x squared. 17 squared minus 15 squared equals x squared. So 17 squared minus 15 squared. So I'm going to get the square root of 64 equals x squared. So plus or minus a equals x. Now because it's a length, we reject the negative because we cannot have a negative length. And we get x equals 8. So our diameter is in fact 8. Now to find the circumference of the circle, I'm going to do pi d. I'm going to divide it by 2 because we have a semicircle. So 8 pi over 2 is 4 pi. So now I'm going to have 17 plus 15 plus 4 pi. Okay? This is going to give me 17 plus 15 plus 4 pi. It's going to give me 44.566. Three significant figures. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. So then I'm going to get 44.6 is my answer. Okay, so moving on to question 12. Astrid wants to buy some oil. She can buy the oil from either Dane Oil or Arctic Oil. Here is the information about the price that each company will charge Astrid. Astrid wants to get a better value for her money for the oil. $1 equals 6.57 krone. From which company should she buy her oil, Dane Oil or Arctic Oil? Okay, so there's a few different ways to do this question. You can do this by converting everything to krone or converting it all to dollars and then rearranging to find out what 1 per litre is. Okay, what the cost per litre is. So I'm going to convert everything to dollars, okay? So for Dane Oil, okay, I have 2,500,000 krone, and I want to know what the dollar is. So to find out what dollar is, I'm going to divide that by 6.57, okay? So if I divide that by 6.57, I'm going to get 380,517.5. Okay, so this is dollars. So now what I'm going to do is I need to find out what we have in price per litre. So now I'm going to do the 4.2 times 10 to the 5 and divide that by our amount in dollars. And then for Arctic Oil, I'm going to get 8.6 times 10 to the 5 and divide that by the amount of dollars. So for Dane Oil, I'm going to get 1.103, and then for the Arctic Oil, I'm going to get 0.1. Going to get 1.1168. So we can see which company should she buy her oil from, Dane or Arctic Oil. So we should find which one is cheaper, Dane or Arctic.
Yeah.
Wait, have I done something wrong with my figures? 1.1168, 1.103. Year 11 what did you get for this one?
Mm-hmm.
You did it in crones. Who did you get there? Dane Oil or Arctic Oil? You got Arctic, you got Dane. Arctic. Yeah, Arctic is cheaper.
They're not stupid, are they?
I don't know where I've gone wrong though.
They're not stupid, are they? We've got to remember this.
What have I done wrong?
Call Google now, actually, and have a look at this.
If I divide them both by dollars, I should get the same.
UK is going to be massive now, then. Yeah.
1.168. Really, I'm a bit stuck on this one, everyone. Okay, I'm going to come back to this one later. The answer for was octacoil, but you have to have explanation, okay? Right then, so here we go. Question 13. A, B, C and D are points on a circle, centre 0. AOD is the diameter of a circle. Angle CBD is 28 degrees. Angle BDA is 32 degrees. Find the size of the angle BDC. So it wants us to find BD. So BDC. So what's this angle here? Okay, perfect. Give reason for each stage of your working. So, first of all, we know that this angle here is 28 degrees. So 28 degrees. Angles in the same segment are equal. Okay, what else do we know? We know that this angle here is a right angle, 90 degrees. Sorry, wait, there was one. What have you said? Background noise is really distracting. What can you hear in the background, Osman?
It's challenging, but it'd be a good thing for you, and that you suit them. So look, let's see what other companies. Are you interviewing anywhere else at the minute? Are you interviewing anywhere else?
We know this is 90 degree. Angles in a semicircle form 90 degrees. So then we are able to work out this angle here, because we know that here we have a triangle, and angles in a triangle add up to 180. So angles in a triangle add to 180, and we've got this shape here now where we know no, this one is, I'm going to draw that again. We know that's 90, we know this is 28, and we know half of this is 32. So 90 plus 32 plus 28 is 150. So that means the missing angle is 30 degrees. Okay, so we're going to have 150 plus the angle is 180. Okay, perfect. Because, okay, question number 14. There are 20 glasses in a cupboard. 13 of the glasses are large, 7 of the glasses are small. Roberto takes at random 2 glasses from the cupboard. So we're going to start with putting down, we know large glasses is 13 out of 20. We have 7 out of 20. Okay, if he takes one away, we're now out of 19. Okay, no matter what he chooses. If he takes a large glass, we had 13, now we're going to have 12. But if he takes a large glass, he hasn't taken a small glass, so our small glass is still 7. The same down here, if he takes a small glass, our large glasses are still 13 because we started at the beginning, and then our small glasses is 6. We now need to work out the probability that he takes 2 small glasses. So we're going from, at the beginning we take a small one, and then we take another small one. So we have 7 over 20 times 6 over 19, which is going to give us 1 over 190. Okay, question 15. Now, if you're not sure how to do this, you could do this a few different ways. Process of elimination, if you've never even known what these graphs look like. What you could do is in your calculator, you could put in the graph, and if you put it between -1, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, okay, you could put this into your calculator, and then you'll be able to see what's going on. So for this one, I'm just going to give you the answers first. It's C, B, and E. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate video showing you how to do this on your calculator. Did anybody get that question correct?
Yeah.
Okay, well done. Guida, just out of curiosity, how did you get them in the tube? How did you get them correct? Jarhead, you got them all right, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You guessed one, okay. So I'm going to do a separate video on this because, again, this isn't something that we've done. Yeah, well done, Jarhead. Use the table function on your calculator and process of elimination. Okay, I'll do a separate video of that. Okay, then. Moving on to question 16. Make x the subject. So we have y equals the square root of x plus 1 over x minus 4. First thing I'm going to do is square both sides. So I'm going to get y squared equals x plus 1 over x minus 4. I'm going to multiply both sides by x minus 4. So y squared x minus 4 equals x plus 1. I'm going to multiply the bracket on the left. So I'm going to get xy squared minus 4y squared equals x plus 1. I'm going to move all my x's onto one side and move everything else onto the other side. So I'm going to add 4y squared to both sides, and I'm going to minus x from both sides. So I'm going to end up with xy squared minus x equals 4y squared plus 1. I'm going to factorise x, so I'm going to get y squared minus 1 equals 4y squared plus 1, and then I am going to divide both sides. Okay, so there is your answer. Okay, question 17. Prove that the difference between two consecutive square numbers is always an odd number. Now, I always like to start with the first number, even, is 2n. The next consecutive number means the next number, which is plus 1. And it says that the difference of them squared. So I'm going to square them and then find the difference. So I'm going to get 4n squared minus 2n plus 1, 2n plus 1. So I'm going to get 4n squared minus 4n squared plus 4n plus 1. I'm then going to get 4n squared minus 4n squared minus 4n plus 1. Okay, these two are going to cancel. Minus 4n plus 1. That's going to give me two lots of minus 2n plus 1. And we know 2x plus 1 is an odd number. Therefore, proved. Now you have to take out a factor at the end of 2, okay, so that you can show that 2n is always odd, okay? Perfect. Right then. Question 18. Okay, so histograms. This time it hasn't given us the table, but we can work that out because we just need to find the area of each bar. So from 0 to 10 goes up 0.7, so 10 times 0.7, so that means this whole area is 7 people. Okay, because we have 10, 0.7, so we have 7 people. We have 5 and 3.4, so 5 times 3.4, so this is 17 people. From here to here, we have 10 and 1, so that's 10 people. No, we don't. That's 9 and 1. Please make sure that you are careful. So this is 9 and 1, so that's 9 people. Here we have 6 and 2.5. So we have 15 people. And then here we have 15 and 4.8. Okay, so that's 72 people. Okay, so now I've worked out what everyone equals. We should probably read the question first before we do that, but I always find it handy because I think you will need them. Work out an estimate for the proportion of these customers who spent between 17 minutes and 35 minutes. So if we find 17 minutes, which is here, and 35 minutes, which is here. Okay, so we need to find the proportion, which is essentially, it's like finding the fraction. So we did need to work them all out because we need to find the total. So the total is 7 plus 17 plus 9 plus 15 plus 72. And then what we now need to do is work out the complete total. So that's 120, and now we need to work out between 17 and 35. So between 17 and 35, I've got here to here, okay? So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 1. Then we know we have to add 15, because that's this next bit. And then here, we're going to have 5 times 4.8, okay? So that's going to give me 46. Supermarket. So more than 30 is 72 minutes. So if we have a look for 36, it's here. So we're going to do 9 times 4 minutes in the supermarket. Is 72 people. 9 times 4.8. The next part of the question says, given that one of the customers is selected at random, given that this customer had spent more than 30 minutes in the supermarket, find the probability that this customer spent more than 36 minutes in the supermarket. So first of all, we need to find out how many spent more than 30 minutes. Okay. And then find the probability that this customer spent more than 36. 8. So 9 times 4.8 is 43.2. No. Given that this customer had spent more than 30, divide that by 72, I get 3/5. Yep, no. So 0.6 is the answer. Okay. Question 19. Write down an equation of a line that is parallel to the line with the equation y equals 7 minus 4x. Now, you could have written, if it's parallel, it has this, the same gradient. So the minus 4x has to stay the same. But your plus c has to be different. So you could have had y equals k minus 4x. It doesn't matter what that is. I'm just going to use the number 1. Okay. Part B. The line L passes through the points with the coordinates -3, 1 and 2, -2. Find an equation of the line that is perpendicular to L and passes through the coordinates -6, 4. Well, first of all, if we have a look at the line L, we have -3, 1, 2, -2. If we're finding the gradients, we're going to do the difference in y over the difference in x. So I'm going to get -2, -1, 2 minus -3, -3 over 5 is our gradient. Now, if it wants a gradient perpendicular, okay, remember, that means perpendicular means at a right angle. So we need to multiply. We know that the gradient of line 1 times the gradient of line 2 equals -1. So -3 over 5 times something equals -1. So that is going to be 5 over 3. So now we have the gradient of the line, which is perpendicular, is 5 over 3. So y equals 5 over 3x plus c. We're going to use the point -6 and 4. -6 equals 5 over 3 lots. 4 equals 5 over 3 -6 plus c. So 4 equals -10 plus c. C equals 14. So we're going to get y equals 5 over 3 plus 14. Okay. Now, this is not the answer because it very clearly states in the question, put it in this form. So I'm going to multiply everything by 3. So I can get 3y equals 5x plus 42, and then I'm going to move everything to the left-hand side. 3y minus 5x minus 42 equals 0. Okay. Please make sure if you don't have that in that way at the bottom, you do not get full marks, you lose mark. Right, what I would like now is, could you add up your scores and let me know, and then is there anything that, question 20, okay? Okay then, so the area of a rectangle is 18 centimetres squared. The length of the rectangle is √7 plus 1. Without using a calculator and showing each stage of your work, and find the width of the rectangle. Well, I always think it's really helpful to draw a picture. If you have this rectangle, you know that the width is √7 plus 1. You don't know what the height is, but you know the area. So √7 plus 1 multiplied by x is going to give you 18. So then your x is going to give you 18 over √7 plus 1. Now, you know we don't like having a irrational number on the denominator, so we're going to multiply both sides by √7 minus 1. So we're going to get 18 √7 minus 18 over. Now it's really important that you do this step by step. √7 times √7 is 7. 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. 1 times √7 is plus √7. √7 times minus 1 is minus √7. So we're going to get 18 √7 minus 18 over 7 minus 1 is 8. √7 minus √7 is just 0. Okay, so now we have that. We have 7 minus 1 is 6, sorry. Now we can split that up. 18 √7 over 6 minus 18 over 6 is going to give me 3 √7 minus 3. Okay, that's what you need to do to get the full marks. Okay. Question 21. So, the diagram shows a sketch of part of the curve with the equation y equals f of x. There is one maximum point on the curve. The coordinates of this maximum point are 4, 6. Write down the coordinates of the maximum point on the curve with the equation y equals f of x plus 4. So, is it inside or outside the bracket? Inside, so it affects the x. And what are we going to do to all the x coordinates? We're going to take away 4. So currently we have 4, 6. If we take away 4 from the x coordinates, we're going to be left with 0, 6. Okay, part 2. Is it inside or outside the bracket? Inside, so affects x only. And what we're going to do to all of them? Divide them by 2. So if it was 4, 6, it's now 2, 6. Okay. Now, for the second part of the equation, what have we actually done here? So, the equation of a curve C is y equals x squared plus 3x plus 4. The curve C is transformed to the curve S under the translation 4, 6. Okay, so what's actually happened is we've moved it up 4. No, we haven't. We've moved it right 4. So right 4 and up 6. So when we've moved it right 4, actually we do the opposite. So we know that our x is going to have to be minus 4 so that we can move it to the right. And then we know at the end, so we're going to have f of x minus 4 plus 6. This is what that transformation is going to look like. So what we're going to do is every time it says x, we're going to replace it with x minus 4. So we're going to get x minus 4 squared plus 3 lots of x minus 4 plus 4 plus, and then we have to make sure we're adding this 6 on the end, because don't forget we transferred it up by 6. Okay, so we can just tidy that up a bit. X minus 4 squared plus 3x minus 4 plus 10. Now you would still get full marks for this one because you can clearly see in the question it says you do not need to simplify the equation. Okay, if you did get a different answer and you're not sure if it's correct, send me a picture and I'll let you know. 21. Okay. Question 22. So, the line with the equation y equals x plus 2 intersects the curve with the equation x squared plus y squared minus 2y equals 24 at the points A and B. Find the coordinates of A and B. Okay, so this is just actually quadratic simultaneous equations. If they intersect, that means if we substitute one line into the other line, we'll be able to find our answer. So I'm going to substitute y equals x plus 2 every time it says y. So I'm going to get x squared plus x plus 2 squared minus 2 lots of x plus 2 equals 24. I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to get x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 2x minus 4 equals 24. I'm going to get 2x squared plus 2x minus 24 equals 0. Now, because they're all a factor of 2, I can divide them all by 2. X squared plus x minus 12 equals 0. I can factorise this. X plus 4, x minus 3. So my x equals 4, negative 4. My x equals positive 3. Now, once I have those values, minus 4 and 3, I'm going to substitute that back into my y. So if y equals minus 4 plus 2, then y equals minus 2. If y equals 3 plus 2, then y equals 5. That is a lovely 5 marks right there that everybody should be able to achieve. Perfect. Now, I've just seen that we've got a few more people joined on. So we'll continue and then I'll go back to the other questions. No. 22, 21. Okay, question 23. Now, this question I actually thought was really lovely. You've just got to really think about it, okay? So we know that AB is 4A. Okay. I'm going to change the lightsaber to this. Right, so AB is 4A, so we know that's up here. We then have AC is 2B, we know that's here. We know that AP, so this part here, is 3 over 2A plus 3 over 4A. Okay? So I'm going to write that in there. 3 over 2A plus 3 over 4B. Okay, we are not sure what PM is yet. Find the ratio AP to PM. So it wants this ratio here to here. Okay? So, step 1, what we're going to do is we're going to find A to M. If we find A to M by going AB plus a half MC, BC, the reason why I am going this way, okay, so I'm going AB plus a half BC, and it's because it says in the question that the midpoint is M, so I know that's a halfway down. Okay, so because I know that's how I'm going to find AM. I can find AM by going a different way. I could do AP plus PM. Okay, so I can go along this way, AP plus PM. So there's two different ways I can get from A to M. Regardless of which way you go, you should always get the same answer. So we're going to see if we can do that. So BC first, we need to work out. To get from B to C, I want to go from here to here. I don't have any information, but I know I could do minus 4A plus 2B. So I'm going to get a half minus 4A plus 2B. And I know that A to B is 4A. So I'm going to simplify that. 4A minus 2A plus B, which equals 2A plus B. That is my A to M. So I know my A to M is 2A plus B. So then if I have a look here, I know this is 2A plus B, A to M. I know my AP is 3 over 2A plus 3 over 4B. And I need to find my PM. Well, if it's 2A and I've got 3 over 2A, I know I'm going to need a half A for my PM for this to work. And then if I have 1B and I have 3/4 B, I need to add a quarter B to get to that. So if we now look at, we figured out what our PM is. So AP is 3 over 2A plus 3 over 4B. And PM is a half A plus a quarter B. Now, if we look closely, our B is 3/4 and our B here is 1/4, and we have 3 halves and we have 1 half. So logical reasoning would deduce that this is 3 parts and this is 1 part. So we're going to get the ratio is 3 to 1. Now, there are other ways you can do this, but as long as you're confident with what's just happened and you can see the logical reasoning, then that's okay. Okay, moving on. Okay, algebraic fractions. So this one was a bit of a sneaky one, really, because it's got a cubic in it, but don't panic. Right, the first thing we should always remember. Okay, it's BIDMAS. It's always BIDMAS. So we're going to start with the brackets first. So 4 over 2x minus 5 minus 3 over 2x minus 3. So with these brackets, we need to put them over a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3, and then I'm going to multiply this one by 2x minus 5, 2x minus 5. So I'm going to end up with 4 lots of 2x minus 3 minus 3 lots of 2x minus 5 all over 2x minus 5, 2x minus 3. Now I'm going to rearrange the numerator, expand it out, so I'm going to get 8x minus 12 minus 6x plus 15. Okay, that's going to give me 2x minus 3, which is perfect. 2x plus 3, sorry, which is perfect. So that's going to give me 2x plus 3 over 2x minus 5, 2x minus 3. Okay, so now I have that. I'm going to divide it by this fraction here. Now, instead of dividing it by fraction, I'm going to, so stay change flips, I'm going to multiply by 6x squared minus 17x plus 5 over 9x minus 4x cubed. Okay, before I multiply it by that, I need to simplify this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify the numerator. Okay, so the numerator does actually factor to 3x minus 1, 2x minus 5. Now, I did that using the calculator, putting it into the equation solver, and then putting it back into the fraction. I can show you all how to do that later. Then for my denominator, it's slightly different. First of all, I'm going to take out a factor of negative x. If I take out a factor of negative x, I'm left with 4x squared minus 9. Okay, now this is a bit sneaky because that 4x squared minus 9 is a difference of 2 squares. So on your denominator, you're going to get 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3. And then your numerator, you're going to have 3x minus 1, 2x minus 5. So what you're going to do now then is you're going to have 2x plus 3 over 2x minus 5, 2x minus 3, multiplied by 3x minus 1, 2x minus 5 over minus x, 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some cancelling out. So this 2x plus 3 and this 2x plus 3 are going to cancel out. 2x minus 5 and this 2x minus 5 are going to cancel out. So then we're going to be left with 3x minus 1 over 2x minus 3 minus x, 2x minus 3. Now, you could have that, you could rearrange that to get 3x minus 1 over minus x, 2x minus 3 squared, okay? Or you could put the minus back into the bracket. There's a few different ways you could do that. But as long as you have something like this for your answer, that's okay. You could even put this minus back into one bracket to get 3x minus 1 over 3 minus 2x, 2x minus 3. They're accepting quite a few different forms of that, okay? So in the mark scheme, there's about 6 different ways, but it just needs to be the exact same algebra. Perfect. So then moving on. 24. It's nice to have. Question 25. Okay, so question 25. So Mary is going to invest $50 in the year 2021. He's going to continue to save up to and include in the year 2070 by increasing the amount he saves each year by K dollars. Okay. If he's increasing something by K dollars each year, what we've actually got here is an arithmetic sequence. Okay. So first thing we should be thinking of is arithmetic. We need our A, which is our starting. We need our D, which is our amount each time, and then we need our N. So Mario is going to save $50 in the year 2021. So that's our starting point. He's going to save K each day, so we know that's K. Up to and including the year 2070, Mario will have saved a total. So if we're going from 2021 to 2070, but we're including both years, that's going to give me N of 50, okay? Because we're including the year 2070. And then he will save a total. So we're looking at SN if we're looking at our total. So our S50 is 33,125. So the formula is in the front. SN equals N over 2, brackets 2A plus N minus 1D. So we're going to substitute everything into that formula. So we're going to get 33,125 equals 50 over 2, brackets 2 times 50 plus 50 minus 1, lots of K. Okay, so we're going to rearrange this now. 33125 equals 25 lots of 100 minus 49K. So we can divide both sides by 25. So 33125 divided by 25. So 1325 equals 100 minus 49K. Let's take away 100. So we're going to get 1225 equals minus 49K. Wait, where did the minus come from? Sorry, everyone. Divide by 49. So then K equals 25. Okay, nice, easy, 3 marks. Okay then, question 26. 25, 5, 25, and then we have, okay, perfect. Here it's a sector AOB of a circle with a centre O and the angle AOB equals X. The sector can form the curved surface of a cone by joining OA to AOB. The height of the cone is 25. The volume of the cone is 1,600. Work out the value of X. Okay, so this is a bit of a spin on what we're normally used to, where we have 3D. We have volume of sectors, cones and cylinders, but we're including that into a angle of a sector. So first things first, if we know the volume of this and the height, we can work out the radius, okay, which we're going to need the radius. So then, step 1, work out the radius. So the volume is given to us in the front, and the volume is 1/3 times pi times r squared times the height. So we know 1,600 equals 1/3 times pi times r squared times 25. Okay, so I could rearrange that. So I'm going to get r squared equals 1,600 divided by 1/2 times pi times 25. So r is the root of all of that. Now, the reason why I'm going to keep it is because exact is when I put it into my calculator, because we're going to be using this figure again, I'm not sure if it's going to be a whole number or not. So I need to make sure I keep everything exact. So if I do that, I end up with 6.3830, okay? So I'm not very happy with that, so I'm just going to do 1600 divided by 12.5. Okay, right, so I'm going to leave this as root 128 over pi. Okay, that's my radius, because I want to keep it exact just in case, you know, it messes up something later. So let's just keep everything exact. Right, so we have our radius. Now, if we actually have a look at this here, this length, okay, which in this case is our hypotenuse of this, but this length here is in fact this length here. So the hypotenuse, the slant of this cone, is actually the radius of this sector, which is actually what we need. So now we're going to use Pythagoras, because we know that this and this are equal. So we're going to use Pythagoras. So I know 25 squared plus r squared equals, let's just call it h squared, okay? So 25 squared plus, now r squared is just 128 over pi, because we know that r is 120, the square root of it, equals h squared. Right, I'm going to put that into my calculator. Okay, so 25 squared plus 128 over shift pi equals, so I get 665.7436 is h squared. Root the answer. 25.802 is what that height is. So this is 25.802. Okay, I'm going to keep it like that. So now that I have that, I am going to put that here. 0.802. Now we know that with sectors, to find x, normally we do x over 360 times pi times, now this would depend, are we finding the area of the sector or are we going to be finding the circumference of the sector? Now, in actual fact, what we know is we're going to be finding, we actually can find this bit out here. We can find this bit here, which means we're going to be finding the circumference. So this is pi times r. So, to find this part here, we already have the radius of the circle, and we know the base of this is actually that section. So I'm going to have, we know what r is at, so pi times 2 times root 128 over pi is our circumference. So pi times 2 times the square root of 128 over shift pi is, so our circumference is 40.0106. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we know then that x times 360 times pi times 2 times our radius, which is 25.802, equals this value here, which is 40.106. So I'm going to do x over 360 equals 40.106 divided by pi times 2 times 25.802. If you don't have the exact same figures, don't worry yet, because I've gone for exact. If you rounded earlier, you might have slightly different. Shift pi times 2 times 25.802 is, so x over 360 equals 0.247, blah, 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 blah. So multiply by 360 times 360. So get x equals 89.05, which is not correct. Okay, I've gone wrong somewhere. Right, did everyone get R is... I've got 128. I think that's where I've gone wrong. What is 1600? 1600. Why did I multiply by a half? Oh, look at that. You're completely right. If we go back to the beginning, what does this say here? A third, and what have I written here? A half. Okay, let me just change this. So then this is going to be... Oh, that's so annoying. Third times 25. Right, everyone, I've spotted my mistake. I'm going to change colour. Okay, so this should actually be, because this should have been a third. This should actually be, that's my mistake, 192. Right, so let's just go back and change the figures. So 25 squared plus 192 over pi, which is 686.115 if I root the answer. Right, so my height is 26.19. Okay, so this is 26.19. This is 26.19. Okay, I need to change this now as well. So this was 192. So then shift pi times 2 times root 192 over shift pi. So I get 49.11. Okay, right, so now so now using the correct figures. Okay, so times my radius, which is 26.19, equals my circumference, which is 49.11. Okay, so x over 360 equals 49.11 over pi times 2 times 26.19. So that divided by shift pi times 2 times 26.19. Okay, so then I get x over 360 equals 0.298 times 360. So x equals 107.45. And then it says, give your answer correct to the nearest whole number. X equals 107. Perfect. Right. So, I mean, it's quite difficult really, because see that little mistake here from going from a third to a half? Obviously, it messed up the whole thing. But actually, I think I still could have got 1, 2, 3, 4 method marks I could have got, which isn't too bad, actually. If you only got up to the point of doing root pi here, it's 2 marks. Okay, perfect. 26. So 41 was for a grade 4, 62 a grade 5, 83 a grade 6, 104 grade 7, 131 grade 8, 159 a grade 9, okay?